Here are 5 books I wish I'd read before I was 20. I believe if I had read these 5 books before I was 20, then I would be much further along on the path that I'm only just getting started on. So if you want a head start, check these books out. Number 1, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, this book was originally published in 1937, so some information can be a bit outdated or cheesy, maybe a little bit corny. However, I believe that it is still highly motivating, and it actually opened my eyes to what I thought I could achieve in life. It helped me shift my mentality from before just getting a job and saving up to become wealthy or rich into pursuing something that is a high leverage skill in order to make a lot more money than I would have ever dreamed. Inside, Napoleon discusses the 13 steps to riches, which he discovered spending time around and interviewing other very wealthy people at the time, including Andrew Carnegie. Some of these things like specialized knowledge, organized planning, and persistence still hold true today. However, there are also some other cheesy tactics like auto-suggestion and taking control of the subconscious mind and things that I don't necessarily buy into, but they're still worth a read. The purpose of a lot of the tips that he gives are to convince you that you can achieve all that you want in life. You can pursue your goals and achieve them. This is why I find it so powerful and motivating, and every time I read a chapter, I just wanted to get started on whatever I wanted to do and just go for it.
Do it! Just do it! Make your dreams come true! Nothing is impossible! What are you waiting for? Do it!
Now, the second book I wish I'd read in my 20s is by Jordan Peterson. It is the 12 Rules for Life. And if you don't know who Jordan Peterson is, he is one of the greatest thinkers of our time. And he has developed and put into writing 12 rules for a fulfilling and meaningful life. Peterson does a great job of laying out the rules in a way that makes sense. Some of those including present yourself well, compare yourself to your previous self, not anybody else, pursue what is meaningful, not fast, and assume the person you're listening to knows something that you do not. This book resonated with me because as I'm just getting started in life, I wanted some sort of roadmap or guidelines to live my life well, and I think Jordan Peterson does a great job of laying out his rules, and you can take a lot of value from that. Now, the next book that I wish I'd read in my teens is called Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport. It's missing the dust cover because I do not like dust covers, so I take them off and I lost it. This book is to combat the plague that is social media and get us disconnected from our phones and reconnected with real life. Cal Newport explains through many stories that we are more unhappy than ever because we don't have time to ourselves, time disconnected, enjoying life outside of our virtual reality. I love this book when I read it because Cal really showcased how our ancestors and forefathers were able to accomplish so much by focusing on a single task. The focus that we just don't find today as much or as common as it was back then. He shows the benefit of being alone with yourself, taking long walks, and just quietly thinking. The third book on my list, which I actually did read in my teens, is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. Now, this book was very shaping for me because as I was going through college, I had a lot of anxiety and fear of other people's opinions about myself. And this book really helped me get away from that and worry only about my opinion or the people who are very close to me, like my family or my loved ones. In it, Manson logically lays out why you should stop caring about what other people think of you, the value in suffering, the happiness problem, and that death is inevitable, so what you say or do and other people's opinions really makes no difference because no one's going to remember in the long run. My final book that I'd recommend to anyone in their teens is Discipline is Destiny by Ryan Holiday. Now, I've recently read this book and I really enjoyed it because Ryan really showcases with many examples of great people in the past about how discipline has been the underlying factor for their success. I found this book so valuable because discipline fundamentally is what anybody needs to succeed at literally anything. So in reading it, you can find that discipline and use it to live a fulfilling and meaningful life. These have been my 5 books that every teen should read. What would you recommend? Comment yours down below.